Arc Raiders just dropped one of their most ambitious updates yet, the Expedition Project. A voluntary reset system that lets you start fresh without losing everything you've earned. It's bold, it's risky, and it could completely change how progression works in Arc Raiders. Let's break it all down, how it works, what you keep, what you lose, and why this could be a game changer. Here's how Virgil, the design director for Arc Raiders, opened the announcement himself. Previously, the question of how we will handle resets or wipes has come up. Until now, the answer has been that currently we do not intend to do mandatory wipes. These words were chosen carefully as we do not intend to have mandatory wipes. However, as some have guessed, we do have a voluntary reset mechanic. Then he went on to say that they do see the benefits of a global wipe. However, they take into consideration that a mandatory wipe does not respect the investment of those players who do not have much time to play overall. So, like they have done with several other mechanics, they'd like to try out their own method, ideally to the end that best suits Arc Raiders and a large majority of its players. Honestly, that's one of the smartest takes I've seen from a dev team on the topic of wipes. They're acknowledging the pros of a reset, but not ignoring the frustrations it causes for players who can't grind 6 hours a night. Here's how this new Expedition project works. Once you've hit level 20, you unlock the Expedition system, an 8-week cycle where players complete stages and objectives leading up to the Expedition window. At the end of that cycle, you can choose to reset your character. That reset wipes your gear, levels, and progression. But one cool part about this, if you don't complete the project during that window, your progress is kept, allowing you to continue working on the project until the next finalization window. So, what's kept and what's lost? Players will lose anything inherent to their character's progress, levels, skills, items, inventory, workshop, and crafting capabilities. But they'll keep cosmetics earned or purchased, awards, achievements, and rankings. Essentially, anything rooted solely in the metagame or involving real money will be preserved. After completing an expedition and resetting, players will be able to skip the majority of the onboarding tutorial steps they went through as a new player. This being things like unlocking certain features, maps, as you play through the early game. These will just be available from the start of a fresh reset. Then they go on to give the benefits and incentives. We are still finalizing the exact benefits and rewards, but they will generally follow along these lines. Permanent account unlocks for each completed expedition, unique cosmetic rewards for each completed expedition, account buffs that are applied for the duration of the following an expedition cycle, and sequential completions of the expedition project increase the magnitude of these buffs up to a limit. They go on to say that completing a reset should never give a player a power or combat advantage over anyone who has not completed a reset. And initially, these benefits will center around cosmetics and bragging rights, quality of life, and smoothing out some aspects of progression for those who have gone through a reset. If you play extraction shooters, then you're no stranger to wipes. In games like Escape from Tarkov, wipes are global and mandatory. Every few months, everyone gets hit with a full reset, no exceptions. It's brutal, it's fresh, and it's part of the Tarkov DNA. But it also kills motivation for casual players. You might spend weeks or even months grinding your stash, you're really close to a coveted achievement, and then boom, it's gone. Arc Raiders is flipping that idea. No forced resets, no loss of investment unless you choose it. These expeditions act more like a prestige loop, giving those who want the thrill of a restart some extra rewards and meta progress while letting others keep building where they left off. Think of it less like Tarkov's hard reset and more like prestiging in Call of Duty. You're voluntarily starting a new run, but you keep the status and recognition that you earned along the way, along with a few of your unlocks. So in a sense, it's Tarkov's wipe system and COD's prestige system having a baby. It's built with accessibility and respect for player time, and that's a pretty big deal. Now, what I really like here is how the devs are threading the needle between progression and fairness. Resets give game economies a fresh start, and that's a good thing, but letting it be voluntary keeps people's emotional investment intact, and that's great. So overall, I think Arc Raiders just made a really smart move here. They're taking what works from hardcore games like Tarkov and reimagining it for a broader audience, one that values progression but doesn't want to start from zero every season. It's creative, it's respectful, and if done right, it could set a new standard for how online games handle progression resets. So, what do you think? Would you hit the expedition button and start over for those permanent buffs? Or are you just going to keep your grind going? Drop a comment below. I'm curious how the community feels about this one. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, please be sure to leave a like and sub for more Arc Raiders and extraction shooters coverage. Until then, I will catch you on the next one.